How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Omniloader. If you had to get the Omniloader for yourself, it can be gotten as a reward for completion of the 14th main story mission, the Family Jewel. But if you already completed this quest, you can get more Omniloaders from the Crazy Earl Veteran Rewards vending machine on Sanctuary. The Omniloader is a blue-rarity unique Dahl pistol, having locked parts meaning it can only ever be non-elemental. However, unlike a lot of other quest rewards, the Omniloader can come anointed. The unique effect of the Omniloader is that when you reload this gun, it also reloads all of the other guns that you currently have equipped. The Omniloader is shockingly usable as a gun, holy shit. I don't think I've ever gone and looked at the stats of this thing at endgame because, well, why the fuck would I? But hot damn! Coming in at just under the damage of the Blanc with pretty much the same fire rate means that the Omniloader is a pretty potent little pistol, especially for being a blue tier. Hell, it's actually coming out ahead of the Kaleidoscope in base damage, and that's a purple. And if we want to further compare it to a legendary, it is greatly outperforming the AAA. But to be fair, that is a pretty low bar to clear. Now, as good as this thing is, I definitely don't want to overstate it because while it can take on most of the content in the game and actually holds up incredibly well even on True Molly 1 takedown, it does start to fall off a decent bit at True Guardian takedown. Along with that, it's also definitely not too great on Amara, though given that she tends to like elemental splash weapons and this is neither of those, it's not really too surprising there. For the most part though, like I said, the actual effectiveness as a gun of the Omniloader is incredibly surprising to me, and just on its own as a shooter, it's a Dahl pistol with great stats, which means it feels slick as hell to use and could be a great option if not simply for being outclassed by pretty much any of the other Dahl pistols. But of course, the Omniloader isn't just a shooter, it's got that unique effect, and the unique effect here is reload everything equipped when you reload this one gun. But now, I don't know if you guys are actually aware of this, you can press R while holding any gun to reload it. I know, crazy stuff here. I'm being facetious, but really the use case of this effect is incredibly niche and not something that someone would realistically use up a weapon slot to do. The ideal gameplay here would be that you cycle through all your other weapons first, emptying all their mags before swapping to the Omniloader to get a fresh reload off. But who actually plays like that? Or what psychopath would want to play like that? Maybe I'm crazy, but personally, the only time I swap to a different gun rather than reloading my current gun is if I'm in a situation where I immediately need that damage going out there. Most of the time though, I carry around a short range, medium range, long range, and my fourth slot is generally a launcher or sniper either for high AoE or big burst damage. I swap to whichever gun matches what most optimally kills that guy over there. I don't burn through ammo and swap to the next gun. The other use case here is to skip long reload animations, but given how builds generally have reload speed, mag size, or ammo regen at the end game, that's not usually a problem. And if it was, BL3 doesn't generally have any egregiously long reloads. There's, what, the fucking Magnificent? Here you guys go, the Omniloader's use case in action. The Omniloader is just simply a gun that was very much so designed for when you get it, being during a story run. While it is shockingly usable, having very good stats for being a blue-rarity Dahl pistol, the actual unique effect only works when you're in a situation where you have a lot of guns that have long reloads. Because you need to be able to justify the time that it takes to swap, reload the Omniloader, and then swap back, as being longer than it would take to just reload your currently equipped gun. The only time that this is really the case is during a story playthrough. But even then, you get this pretty deep into a story run, and by that point, you're probably going to be having really good guns that don't have terribly long reloads, or you're gonna have one of the previously mentioned stats that make it so that you don't have to reload as often, or you just have straight up reload speed that is going to shorten that reload anyways. Coming out of this video, I do actually like the Omniloader, and I've grown a new appreciation for it. It's just kind of unfortunate that there's not exactly a place for it in BL3. I honestly think the only way to really fix it, you know, without increasing the reload time of literally every gun in this game, is that it should have just been a reward for an earlier quest, letting you get it early enough in a playthrough where it would actually matter. Or, better idea, add the fucking Omni Cannon. I mean, Omniloader, Omni Cannon, that thing had a long ass reload on it. Come on, no brainer.
I am omning it.
That's gonna about do it for this one though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Down in the description will be a link to my Twitch channel where you can follow to be notified of when I go live, and just below that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.